you want me here or on the other side?
You can go the other side. Is it easier for you to go the other side?
I'll just start off by saying that I welcome this announcement. That means that we get to increase our class sizes this year, and these officers will be a great benefit to the division and the community, because that will allow us to do more community engagement and to solve more crimes, in my opinion. So if you got any questions, I'd be glad to answer them.
How do you expect to deploy these officers in particular? Are these going to be patrol officers, or are they going to?
So everybody starts off in patrol, and generally they spend anywhere from 8 to 10 years in patrol. But there are patrol assignments that are currently empty, and this will help us fill some of those. But it will allow us to do some other initiatives, and that is kind of like a team approach to some of our investigations. We're already doing that on a trial basis, but it's kind of part-time because these other officers have assignments. So we're going to try to roll that out on a larger scale, but it will also allow us to do the Safe Streets initiative across the city instead of just one area. And by that, I mean that's community engagement, that's looking for people to give us information, actually developing a relationship so they feel comfortable giving us information and that we're serving them better.
Is this a one-year addition, or do you expect these 15 positions to be included over the next?
So, I mean, once they hire them, they're going to be here for 25 years. The goal will always be to make sure that we're keeping up with the needs of the city. And I think that this is a start. It's a great start to whether or not we are going to be able to expand into the future. But this is a good expansion. 30 more officers on the street. We always lose people to retirement and resignation. So this will actually add to our numbers, and that's a really good thing. Allows us to do some different things and try some new initiatives.
How long has it been since the department actually added to its numbers?
Well, we've been maintaining our rate right around the last 10 years. The recession really hit us hard, and the drop program did hit us hard as well. So we had two big factors that affected us in 08 through 11 and 12. So we've been maintaining our numbers, keeping up with attrition, but this will actually allow us to increase our numbers.
What do you think would be, do you have a number in your head as to what you think would be an appropriate number for the department to be at?
Well, I think every year, Steve asked the question, is this going to keep going on? Every year they do a budget, and they determine what the budget's going to allow based on what's coming in. And so that will be dependent upon what is happening next year when they're looking at the budget again. It would be nice if we can keep up with the population growth, but we have to look at revenue as well.
Did you make a request for a particular number of officers for this year?
No, that came from the FOP.
Okay.
And first of all, that's the FOP. They represent the union members, and I represent the division police. And I work with the mayor's office and city council all the time on balancing the needs of the city. We don't need too many officers if people are moving away because there's no parks, no recreation centers to go to, and nothing pretty to look at downtown. And so all of these needs have to be balanced. I understand that, and we certainly have to grow within our ability to train officers as well.
Now, this money that came is additional money, so were any cuts or anything taken away because of this? How does $1 million
This is all new. Mr. Dorian was responsible every single year to tell the administration what they thought was going to be the budget for the next year. They have to have a zero-line budget, so they make their predictions based on that. And then at the end of the year, after they've already made those estimations, he does a final analysis, and I believe he found more money. More predictions, more money that can come in than he had originally thought. So that's something that happens every single year, and then they decide what to do with any deficit or any extra money.
Chief, we're talking.
Level if necessary, do you think these additional officers?
I can tell you that officers are spending more time dealing with more problems now. It's not just about de-escalation, it's about the number of calls we get to deal with the mentally ill, about the number of calls we get to deal with people that are in opiate crisis. One overdose, two overdoses might take 5 to 10 officers, at least for some period of time. That just wasn't happening 5 years ago. So I believe it's necessary for us to keep up with all the different demands. But if come along our way. It's not just about calls for service anymore. There are challenges that we have, more safety concerns. Certainly we have to worry about other events that might occur, disasters or terror events. So there's a lot of different things that we're being expected to do nowadays, and this will definitely help us start some of those initiatives that will, again, allow us to engage with our community, which is an expectation, and it should be. We should be engaged.
And how is this going to help specifically, with police officer programs, to curb this trend where we're seeing so many homicides? And we've already had more this year compared to last year. You know how last year?
One of the things that we've already experimented with, we just haven't been able to do it full time, is having more of a team effort on the investigation of some homicides and other crimes, where there's a lead investigator, yes, but then we have other members that are able to go out and do some of the legwork that the detectives aren't able to do. So maybe we get to roll that out. We'll roll out the Safe Streets plan that we've already done, but on a wider scale. So there'll be more community engagement because of that, but community engagement, I believe, leads to information that we might need to solve crimes.
Chief, 3 recruit classes now, or two bigger ones?
2 bigger ones.
2 bigger ones. So we're adding 15
We're
officers.
going to have a class
each.
that starts in June and a class that starts in December, and they'll both be bigger by 15.
Okay, and then factoring in retirements and everything, best guesstimate how many officers, sworn officers, you'll have at the beginning of 2019 as a result of this?
Well, an additional 30. If retirements stay where they've been averaging, there'll be an extra 30 people.
So 1,930 or 40 in that, somewhere
Probably
in that
close
range?
to 1940 or 1950. Yep. All right.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
Okay.
Thanks.